Good morning, students. Today we are going to study SST chapter 11, our epics, in a digital mode, or you can say in a digital way. Let us start with page number 89. Let's know. In this chapter there are three topics: Ramayana, Mahabharata and folk tales. You all know about Ramayana and Mahabharata. In fact, you have seen all these things in movies, or you can say in small screens, that is in your television. Now let us study this page number 89. As you can see, there are two creatures. One is crocodile and another is monkey. Let us read their conversation. Now crocodile says to monkey, "Dear monkey, we are friends. My wife has invited you for dinner at our home." Now crocodile wants to invite monkey, for dinner. But I don't know how to swim. How will I reach there? Then monkey replied to the crocodile that he doesn't know how to swim. How he can reach to his home? "I will carry you on my back." Then crocodile said, "I will carry you on my back." My wife, now while going to the home of crocodile, the crocodile said to monkey that my wife wants to eat your heart, so I am taking you home. Now crocodile revealed the truth. He said to monkey that my wife wants to eat your heart, so I am taking you home. Now the monkey became little nervous, but he replied, "Oh, I have left my heart on the tree." Then crocodile took the monkey back to the tree. Monkey jumped on the tree and then replied, "I was a fool to trust you. No, now we shall never be friends again." So by using his cleverness, monkey saved his life. Now come to page number 90. As you can see in the top of this page, what do you learn from this story? You have to write this question by your own. Okay. Now let us read Ramayana. It is very interesting, as you all know, and I think everybody has seen this in your television. The Ramayana is an ancient epic poem composed by the Hindu sage Valmiki. Who composed Ramayana? A Hindu sage known as Valmiki. It is one of the largest ancient epics in the world literature. It is one of the largest ancient epics in the world literature. Okay. It consists of about 24,000 verses divided into 7 kandas. Kandas means books, and about 500 sargas. Sargas means chapters, because it is a very huge book, very large book, and many things are given in this book. Okay, so it is divided in this way. It depicts the duties of relationships, portraying an idle father, idle son, idle wife, idle brother, and an idle servant. As you all know about Ramayana, it is a story of Sri Ram, Sita ji, Lakshman and Hanuman ji, and also about their bondings, how they all were devoted to each other. Okay. The epic narrates the life of Sri Ramchandra, the prince of Kosala kingdom. So in this epic you will come to know about the Ramchandra, who was the prince, who was the eldest prince of Kosala kingdom. His banishment from the kingdom by his father king Dasharatha. His father banished. So Dasharatha was the father of Sri Ramchandra, who banished him from his kingdom. So first of all, student, you should know the meaning of banishment. Banishment means the punishment of being sent away from a country or other place. Now let us continue. His journey across the forests with his wife Sita and his brother Lakshmana. It also describes the kidnapping of Sita by the demon king of Lanka, Ravana. Now, when Raja Dasratha sent his son Sri Ramchandra to exile or banished him, he left the kingdom with his wife Sita and younger brother Lakshman. When they were living in the jungle, Sita ji was kidnapped by the demon king of Lanka and his name is Ravana. It resulted in a war between Lord Rama and Ravana in which Ravana was killed. Now, after kidnapping of Sita, Sri Ram attacked Ravana, okay, and he defeated Ravana and again get back his wife Sita. In that incident, Ravana was killed by Sri Ram. Eventually, Lord Rama returned to Ayodhya to be crowned the king. Now after killing Ravana, he came back to Ayodhya and he became the king. Now read this Factopedia. According to Hindu tradition, Rama is the seventh incarnation. Incarnation means avatar as it is given in your book of God Vishnu to show the right path of dharma to all living creatures. Okay, now come to page number 91. Lord Rama in Hindu mythology symbolizes truthfulness. He is an ideal man. He represents the truth, being determined and dutiful. He is always shown holding a bow and arrows, indicating his readiness to destroy evils. He is also called Sri Rama, as you have seen the picture or photo of Sri Ram. You will always see that he holds a bow and arrows, which indicates his readiness to destroy evils. That is why he is also called Sri Rama. Now, Ramayana has been written and translated by different writers in different languages. It is a sacred text. We must respect it. So as you all know, Ramayana is not written in only Sanskrit or only Hindi. It is written and translated by different writers in different languages. And it is a sacred text. We must respect it. Now let us study another epic, that is Mahabharata. I hope you all know the meaning of epic. Let me remind you. It is a long poem, typically one derived from ancient oral tradition, narrating the deeds and adventures of heroic or legendary figures or the past history of a nation. Okay, now let us start this topic, Mahabharata. Along with Ramayana, Mahabharata is another major epic of the Hindus. Mahabharata is also one of the major epics of the Hindu. It was written by Vedvyasa. It is the longest epic poem known and ever written. Now see, there is one difference in Mahabharata and Ramayana. Mahabharata is longest epic poem known and ever written, but Ramayana is an ancient epic poem composed by the Hindu sage Valmiki. Now let us continue. It consists of over 1 lakh slokas. It is about 4 times the length of the Ramayana. Okay. Mahabharata narrates the Kurukshetra war between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. So Mahabharata means, you can say, in Mahabharata what you will come to know. You will come to know the war between the two cousins. Okay, one is Pandavas and another is Kauravas. So who are Pandavas and Kauravas? Pandavas are the sons of Pandu and Kauravas are the sons of Dhritarashtra. Pandavas are five. Sorry, Pandavas were five. Yudhishthira, eldest one, then Bhima, strongest one, then Arjuna, Nakula and Sahadeva. And they had a common wife, Draupadi. Now let us study this Factopedia. It is believed that sage Vedvyasa narrated the story of Mahabharata to Lord Ganesha. Okay, the sage Vedvyasa, he told the story of Mahabharata, or you can say narrated the story of Mahabharata to Lord Ganesha in a cave which is today known as Ganesha Guha. Now turn your page and open page number 92. Kaurava siblings were 100 in number. As you all know, Pandavas were only 5 in number, but Kaurava siblings were 100 in numbers. They were instigated by their maternal uncle. Instigated means bring about or initiate any action or event. And the name of that uncle is Sakuni. He was their maternal uncle. That led to the war. Because of their maternal uncle Shakuni, they fought with each other. Means Kauravas and Pandavas fought with each other. Lord Krishna fights on the side of the Pandavas. So Lord Krishna, he fought against the side of the Kauravas. Okay, means he was on the side of Pandavas, but literally he did not fight. He did not handle any kind of weapon. He only gave instructions. Lord Krishna did not fight with any weapon. He only gave the instructions to Pandavas how to fight, when to use any weapons. He became the charioteer of Arjuna. The teachings that Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna in the war are compiled in the Bhagavad Gita. The teachings which were given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna is clearly given, or you can say are compiled in the Bhagavad Gita. Finally, the war won by the Pandavas, but the victory came with a tragic end and a terrible price. Tragic means causing or characterized by extreme distress or sorrow, and terrible means extremely bad. Pandavas won the battle, but it came with a tragic end and a terrible price. Let's discuss what were the 5 Pandavas specialized in. There were only 5 Pandavas and they were specialized in different skills. So hint is also given, they all were good at some art. Now you have to find in which art which Pandava is specialized. Panchatantra and Jataka tales. Now let us read this topic. Panchatantra is an Indian collection of interrelated animal fables in verse and prose arranged in a story form. First of all, let us know the meaning of interrelated. It means related or connected to one another. Now next is animal fables, means it is a short piece of fiction that features animals in any role. Now verse. Verse means writing arranged with rhythm, typically having a rhyme, and prose means it is a kind of poem, or you can say rhymes, written or prose is a written or spoken language in its ordinary form. It is not like verse. These stories are most widely known in the world. They lay the foundation of a wise conduct of life. They are believed to be based on earlier folk traditions which were finally written down. They all are stories with a moral. So what is Panchatantra? It is an Indian collection of interrelated animal fables in verse and prose arranged in a story. It is a kind of story which is written in a very nice way, and when you read this story, when you complete this story, you will come to know about some moral values. In Panchatantra there are a lot of stories, and every story has a moral value. Now the Jataka tales. The Jataka tales are a part of the literature native to India, related to the previous birth of Gautam Buddha in both human and animal form. So what is Jataka tales? It is nothing but a part of literature native to India, related to the previous birth of Gautam Buddha in both human and animal form. Every tale exhibits some virtue, although Buddha may appear in it as a king, a god, an elephant, etc. So, meaning of virtue. Virtue means behavior showing high moral standards. Many stupas in northern India are said to mark locations from Jataka tales, like in Pushkalavati, Mangalura, and at Hadda mountain. There are several translations of these Jataka tales in different languages. So Jataka tales are not written in only Hindi or only Sanskrit, rather it is written in different languages. Now we have completed this chapter. Now we will study question answers and we will complete book work in our next class.